Hey everyone, it's Seth. In this video, I want to show you a series of movements that I'm going to go through pretty quick, but you can take plenty of time with, and it's just a really kind of a fun way to explore your spine and your ribs that I came up with. So I'm just going to go through it. I will add though, if you're the kind of person who follows along this video and you find that you can more or less keep up with the pace of things, if you would like to take this kind of thing even further, leave me a comment, because I'd love to develop something for people who feel like, no problem, I want to do more of that. Anyway, let's give it a try. So to begin, you just stand with your feet wider than your shoulders. So not how you would typically stand, but you kind of make a triangle shape, and you're just going to shift your weight. You can see I'm bending one knee, and there's a lot of ways you could do this. You can just kind of allow yourself to mess around, but get comfortable with going side to side like this. Okay. But now you are interested in what's the spine doing? What's the spine doing? And so I'll give you a little preview, a little snapshot. Maybe as the spine goes one way, it's shorter on one side and it's longer on the other side. And maybe the reverse is true when you switch directions. So there's a kind of a movement of the top and the bottom going one way, and the middle, the ribs, going opposite, right? So maybe you can see that. Okay, but don't worry about that just yet. You're just moving like this. But now, as you keep making this movement, you're going to take one hand and you're going to reach across under the other arm, and you just begin to sense that there's ribs here. And there's a way that your fingers can look for the gaps between the ribs. So you just place your hand there, and maybe you just stand and sort of explore a little bit. You can go all the way up into your armpit. Now in your armpit, you're also going to run into the side of your shoulder blade. So you want to know, when am I grabbing the edge of my shoulder blade, and when am I still in front of the shoulder blade and I'm feeling these individual ribs, right? And now as you continue to do that, go back to this movement of just shifting left and right. But now you can feel the ribs going into the hand and then coming a little away from the hand. But the hand just sits here. And you could actually think that when you're going away, that the hand is helping, it's pulling. But you could also think that the ribs are pushing the hand, right? And so maybe there's a little push-pull, there's a little relationship. It can be fun to sometimes be more interested in generating the movement from the hand, sometimes more from the ribs. In fact, what's probably going to feel less familiar is pushing with the ribs, because we're all used to doing things with the hands, but directing something through the ribs in one place, and try to push exactly through those ribs where your hand is. And then if you move your hand down to some other ribs, you're going to have to change where you're emphasizing in the ribs. Right? Okay. So after doing that for a bit, just leave it alone and keep going left and right, but really feel the aliveness in these ribs compared to the other side where you didn't try this thing. Okay, now instead of going to the other side, we're actually going to keep building on what we're doing on the same side. So whichever side of your ribs you were touching, I'm just showing you where the other hand was, but we're going to take it away. On that side where the ribs were being touched, bring the hand on that side to the top of your head. And now just gently allow this hand to pull your head down. But feel the ribs can be going over here as the head goes down here, so that you're not feeling that you're just pulling yourself to the ground. This is, you can experiment. You can take the head down and move the direction that the head is going down, or you can actually take your weight, take the middle of your chest away. But I think you'll find one has a very different feeling. This makes me want to kind of go up and over, right? But which might be good for something in another context. But here, see if you can move away. You can move away. Okay? And so now you can have this hand here to feel the ribs and feel both things, but you can also just think of your head for a while. Really think, where am I taking, maybe the top of the head and the hand. Now you're interested, is it the hand that's leading? Is it the head? You're sort of playing, and then you can come back and you can play with the ribs again. All right. So every once in a while you want to just stop and kind of feel what's going on. The way I've been doing it, I've been giving a lot of attention to my left side. It's not that my right side of my body wasn't very active, but my left side that's been getting the attention. So I'm really feeling kind of this rippling effect through the left ribs as I move now, which is kind of cool. All right, so now we're going to slow it down though, because if I combine those two things, taking the head down and reaching across and pulling, what I might notice is this pulling, and here also, am I pulling the shoulder blade, or can I actually come inside the shoulder blade and almost pull away from the shoulder blade? My shoulder blade can be going back towards my spine as the head and the elbow go down. But here it's like I'm pulling the ribs, actually turning a little bit. And now I might look at the ceiling. And I can, once I figure that out, I can sort of make it into a dance again, go left and right. But the emphasis is on this one direction. And I'm seeing now there's not only a C shape in the spine, but the spine is being turned around itself and projected so I can see upwards, right? That's kind of cool. And what you can also see happening is this leg, it's starting to feel like it wants to come away from the floor, and that could happen in different ways. Maybe I could roll over and put the top of my foot on the floor somehow. This might turn into going down like that. But maybe you don't feel like you want to do that. So something simpler, which is pretty fun also, is just to go down and then keep going down, but at a certain moment, pick up this foot and put it next to the other one. And you can see I'm way far down, but somehow through these different twists and turns, I'm staying balanced because I'm not just falling over, but as I'm going here, for example, this hand is still pulling me away from the floor. And so this is kind of fun. I go like this. And good time to take a rest again. The two sides are feeling very different right now. And of course, at any point, you wouldn't have to go this far without going to the other side, but it can be interesting to just keep clarifying one side of the body, one side of the body. So that's what I'm doing for the sake of this video. You can mix up the lefts and rights, and you can do this all way slower. But where were we? Okay, head comes down, the middle of the spine is going through. And if I just want to remind myself and maybe wake up the other side, now I could put the back of a hand here, and instead of pulling myself, pulling with the hand, now really think about the pushing action of those ribs. And here's the same movement, but now I'm pushing my elbow to the ceiling with my ribs along the other side. And I can feel they're not quite as awake yet, so I might push from down here, and then I'll end up aiming the elbow in different places because of the different connections I'm making with the side of the wrist to my ribs. All right, but here's a really fun thing. So I somehow come down here, or maybe the hand is still holding below, doesn't matter, but I've done this thing where I've not only done this lateral flexing move, but I have turned myself, and together somehow I can get pretty low. See, my knees want to go that way, but I'm somehow balanced. But what if I still have more weight on this foot? This foot, I can lift it. I can do something with it. So now I'm going to basically keep the shape in my spine the same, but I'm going to start to reorient this foot. And I can turn back here. And then I'm just taking little hops to turn it. I can go all the way over here. And you can see my right leg
my right leg is just holding its ground. But it's actually, it feels like the foot that isn't moving. Maybe you can imagine, and I am feeling it this way, like I'm turning the floor. It's like I'm spinning the floor with the foot that stays down. So I do this funny hopping maneuver.
All right. So what do you think of that? Love to get a comment below if you try this, or just what does this look like to you to think about exploring your body, exploring movement in this way. I literally just put this together tonight. I was exploring and this is what I came up with. So subscribe to the channel if you would like to see more videos like this, and you can also head to movewithseth.com, get a free training that I've got there for you, which can really help you use your attention to take your movement practice to the very next level. So thanks, see you next time.